So we went live on Monday because that was such a crazy day of trial. It was a lot happening, right? So Tuesday, pretty much, we get right into it. On Tuesday, they start to showing these videos again, right? And pretty much a lot of people kind of checked out of the trial for a few days. People popped in, popped out. I was watching it, but I really probably only watched it for the podcast purpose because I wanted to make sure that even if something did happen, that I was aware of it right when it happened. But nothing really major happened. They showed a lot of the videos that we already knew about or we already watched before. So Tuesday, let me see what I got here. So Tuesday, Hilton comes right in asking Woody about that infinity that he mentioned. She's like, "Yo, what's going on with the infinity?" And I think he realized that he messed up bad about bringing that up because he went right back to the "I don't recall" type of stuff, right? So she was really getting at him about that, and why didn't he bring that up back in 2015 about Threat having a car that night or whatever? So he pretty much said that he lied on Shannon because he knew Shannon didn't do it, and he didn't think a person that didn't do something would be locked up. He pretty much like trying to flip the justice system back on themselves by saying, "How are y'all locking people up when y'all don't even have proof of it? Y'all just took somebody's word for it, had no evidence at all. I made it up, and y'all went and arrested the man for it." So then also some more questions came. She's like asking him like, "Yo, what was this affiliation?" He was like, "I was a 30 deep gang member. YSL was never a gang. Y'all making it that." He said, once again, this is another witness saying this. YSL ain't a gang. Y'all are calling it a gang. And then he went on with the whole, you can't be like, I can't be a 30 deep gang member and a YSL gang member. That don't make sense. If you in a gang, you're in that gang. Like these prosecutors try to make it seem like, well, wasn't there Crips and Bloods in YSL? Yeah, because YSL ain't a gang. Okay. So then they all, they keep on getting into deeper and deeper into the connection with YSL and all that. So then they asking Woody like, what did you and Thug kind of fall out about? And he's like, I was mad at him for mentioning my name in the song, even though the song was already recorded, was like an old song. When they put it out, he said that Woody was saying that the timeline made people think in the public that Thug had sent Woody to go do something, to go do a shooting or something like that. So he clearly he was trying to say he was mad at Young Thug for putting it out or for rapping his name or really for talking about a situation that he wasn't involved in. That's what Woody pretty much was saying, is that Thug was rapping about some stuff that was Woody's situation. So it made people think Thug was involved, and really he felt like, Thug, you put yourself in it, really by putting that song out. You put your own self in it, so really I just brought you in it because you already put yourself in it. People thought you was involved anyway, so that was an easy cop-out for me. I'm going to just put it on Thug. That's pretty much what Woody was saying, why he was mad and why he threw it on Thug for putting his name in the song like that. Woody is trying to say that Thug made it hot for him and not the fact that he was known to be beefing with these people and having shootouts and all that. He's saying Thug is the reason it got hot for him and why people started really thinking that he committed that shooting. And they was really thinking that Thug sent him to go do it. So Woody is like, yo, you was dumb for putting yourself in that. So, it's a lot going on back there. They nothing was happening. They take a lunch break. They come back, and Woody finds out what most of us found out from social media, from whatever outside situation, that his attorney John Melnick, got suspended for 6 months for violating his clients. Pretty much taking money, not performing the services that he was supposed to be performing for his clients. So Jonathan Melnick has his bar card suspended for 6 months. I read the little order. It pretty much was saying that, once his 6 months is up, he can resume, representing clients. He doesn't have to make any appeals. He doesn't have to make any appearances, nothing like that. He's just automatically reinstated. He can go back to practicing law. But the thing is, there was interviews with people, I guess, coming out and saying that he pretty much been taking money from people and not performing the duties, not just for the child support case he got in trouble with, but supposedly he just accepted $15,000 from a lady to get her son some legal defense. And then he didn't draft up a contract or anything, took the lady's money, won't give it back to her. She's fighting cancer. She needed that money, but she was trying to put some money up for her son. And Melnick is like, nah, F you, I'm not giving you your money back. And then there's just like a list of people coming forward like, yeah, Jonathan Melnick, I hired him too. He messed my case up. He got me in trouble. So Melnick, to me, since the beginning, he had the vibe of like a person that was not being ethical. He had the vibe of a person that felt like a used car salesman, just like Judge Glanville and the state has said about him. He had that vibe. So I don't even know why so many people was trying to defend him. He had a vibe that he was effing things up from the beginning, to me, because just stepping in like this at the last minute and then being like, hey, that was my client, and or I can't be here because I'm going on vacation, I'm gonna send somebody else in. Like, Melnick ended up helping the defense because he threw the biggest monkey wrench in it when he added Miss Bumpus, and then they had the ex parte meeting. I don't know if they would have had that ex parte meeting had Melnick still been his attorney, right? So he throws a lawyer in there that's kind of friendly with the prosecution, so they think they can trust her. They think they're on her side, not knowing that this lady is actually tied in with Young Thug and his family and has represented Woody before. So, Melnick has been doing little funny things that, not to say he's done anything wrong to the defense, but he's been doing funny things to where the legal community might look at him sideways. And I think that's exactly what happened. And clearly his behavior predates this YSL trial because he's in trouble for something that's not even related to the YSL trial. Right? So he gets suspended. Woody comes back from lunch, say, hey, I just found out my lawyer was suspended. I don't want to testify without a lawyer. And the judge is like, okay, do you want to hire your own lawyer or do you want me to get you one? Woody's like, I want you to find one. So I guess the judge was already prepared for that. So she said, well, actually, I got a lawyer for you. He's a public defender. His name is Charles Engelberger. And so I'm going to have my people call him. She was like, Woody, go ahead. You go away. I'll figure out if we can get him here. And we're going to be in recess until I get in touch with him. So they get Engelberger on the phone. Dude is like, hey, I'm available. I'm going to take the case, but I need to, or I'm going to represent him. But I can't make it today. I can start tomorrow morning. So then Woody is done for the day and he's out of there. They're going to come back the next morning. So they come back the next morning. Woody still wants to testify. I guess that Woody is like, I'm not going back to jail to the end of this trial. I'm guessing that he's thinking this thing is about to be over anyway, eventually. So he's like, let me just go ahead and keep testifying. I'm gonna keep lying. I'm gonna keep saying I don't remember nothing. It's gonna be all good. I'm thinking that's what Woody thinks, or is thinking, because he said he wants to keep testifying. Let's see here. So, and then once again, Attorney Love does not have the evidence ready by the judge's deadline. The judge is saying, what's going on? At some point, my deadlines have to mean something. And it's funny because the judge is saying that, but also not punishing them for not having this stuff ready. So I'm wondering why the Judge Whitaker keeps on acting like she's fed up and that she's tired and that she is more strict on things than Glanville was, or she's not acting like it, but she comes off like she is. And then when it's time to actually punish or give the state some type of consequences for their actions, it's nothing. It's just questions like, oh, why don't y'all have it? Okay, well, y'all need to start having this stuff when I ask you. So she, pretty much let them off again. And Attorney Love was like, well, I'll have it for you in a couple of days or whatever she said. Wednesday gets here. They're still playing these interviews. There's argument about it. There's some argument pops up about the one of the interviews and some what was it about? Some stuff about admissibility, right? So they start arguing. The judge is annoyed. She's like, why was this not done already? Like, we got the jury here. We want to keep on playing it. Why wasn't this done already? So the judge gets mad and says, we about to take a break. The defense, they can have 30 minutes to take a break. Like the defendants themselves, not the lawyers, the defendants, the inmates, they can go take a 30-minute break. She was like, I'm going to go take me a 30-minute break. Y'all, the lawyers, well, she sent the jury out for an hour and a half. She was like, y'all, the lawyers, y'all need to stay in here and work on this thing that I told y'all should have been done. So then the prosecution is like, hey, but like, I need a little snack or something. The judge is like, you should have brought crackers in your bag. So she was annoyed to the point where she didn't even let them go get food for lunch. So I guess that's like a little punishment, but it's kind of light. That's like the type of punishment you get when you're in school and you don't do your work and the teacher make you stay during lunch. Like, it's a light punishment, but it's letting them know that she is getting increasingly annoyed with what's going on. For sure, the judge is when a judge is telling y'all she don't want to let you go to the bathroom. When a judge is annoyed every time you ask to go to the bathroom, like how many breaks do y'all need? What are y'all doing? You should have went to the bathroom last time I let them go. Like, nah. Like, so she's at that point now. Because Glanville was letting them take breaks all the time. Right? This judge is sick of it already and wants this trial to be over. Right? So, we get to Thursday. I'm flying through this because it was a lot of video watching. We did a lot of watching of videos, right? We get here Thursday. The state is like, the state wants to give the jury transcripts of the June 10th interview with Woody, right? Kenneth Copeland. The defense is like, nah, I don't want them to have it because it's not fully accurate and we haven't even gone through it to figure out what was accurate and what was not. Once again, the judge is like, what? Why haven't y'all done this before now? But she was like, I don't think the state is trying to give this to the jury. The state is just using this for a reference so that we can redact things and find what's admissible. The state is like, no, we do want to use this. The judge is like, so Miss Hilton is like, we can go over this at lunchtime. The judge is like, we're not going over 9 hours worth of transcript in an hour. That's not going to happen. So I'm probably not going to let y'all use that. It is what it is. So they ended up eventually getting to the June 10th interview, and they did not use the transcript and give it to the jury. I don't know what was that about. But so then in the interview now, because so far I haven't really been discussing what Woody has been saying in these interrogation videos, but this one was important, right? Woody brought up that silver/gray Bonneville. He says that Tay was driving a gray or silver Bonneville when he shot up his house. Remember the whole shooting where Woody was with his baby and his baby mom and somebody drove past shooting at his house and then he shot back. And remember, he blamed it on somebody named Tay, right? He said it was a person named Tay that had just come over his house. He said Tay was driving that car, right? But also remember, on the stand, he told us it's a million Tays, and he don't know which Tay he would have been talking about from Bankhead and all this type of stuff, right? So it's a Tay from Simpson, Tay from Bankhead, Tay from Mechanicsville, Tay from over here, it's Tays from everywhere on the west side, right? So Copeland is like, yeah, he was driving it. And remember when the guy named Sammy Davis, I think, and then the other guy who was one of Nut's best friends was on the stand. They both said that they seen a gray Bonneville at the Donovan Thomas murder, right? They didn't say it was an Infiniti. They said it was a gray Bonneville, right? And this Sammy Davis, the dude who was like, and the addict guy, the crackhead dude, excuse my French, he was for sure that it was an older model Pontiac Bonneville, right? Also, the same with Nut's friends. So they definitely seen that car at the scene of the crime. And then, so Woody threw Tay in that car. Wait, that was back in 2015. He said Tay was in that car. Now, remember what he was just saying on the stand on Monday about Tay being the one that had beef with Shell Kale and all them. So he'd been trying to put this on this random Tay character for a long time, but he wasn't saying threat back then. It seems to me like anytime Woody was like bringing up things to throw on somebody, he was bringing up two names for everything. It was either Shell Kale's fault or it was Tay's fault. He kept using those two. It's like Tay. It was Tay. It was this Tay. No, it was a different Tay. It was this Tay. Tremont Tay or Tay. Like it was a lot of different Tays that he kept on bringing up. And even on the stand, he threw Tay/threat in all of this now, right? As the person. And then even when he was in the interrogation room, when they started asking him about when he was realizing that he was going to get in trouble for having a gun at the rec center, he put his head down and said, man, this is Tay that's going back and forth with these people, right? So he kept on throwing this mythical Tay figure in everything. He was doing it this week, and he was doing it back in 2015, just blaming everything on somebody named Tay, right? So I thought that was important that he said the Bonneville thing back in 20. And then remember, he also said, I put that on Tay to shooting up my house, but I knew it wasn't Tay. Like, I know Tay. I'm friends with Tay. When it came time for him to go to trial or whatever, I told them that it wasn't him and that I was lying. I made it up because I didn't want to see him go to jail for something I knew he didn't do. So Woody said that on the stand Not that well, back in June or whatever. So, or was that back in June? Whenever he said it on the stand, right? So he was just putting it on Tay. I guess he really feel like I was gonna keep the real people who did it hidden so I could get my street justice on them, and I'm gonna just throw it on somebody who I know for sure didn't do it. But anyway,